Hello guys and welcome back to another video. It is round 13 of 15 of our season 2 championship. Technically there's still, I think it was 14 drivers who are still mathematically in the championship, I'm pretty sure. Well, if Lewis Hamilton wins this Grand Prix, he will take the championship lead. If Lando Norris is outscored by 25 points, aka if Charles Leclerc wins this race and that Lando Norris does not finish in the points, Lando Norris will no longer be a championship contender. There is currently technically 5 main drivers in the championship fight. It is Charles Leclerc who's first place, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Kimi Antonelli, and Lando Norris. Keep in mind, I stand by Oscar Piastri would be in the championship fight if he hasn't gotten so unlucky this season. And also keep in mind, Lando Norris has not finished any of the 3 previous Grand Prix. Of course, this is the Portuguese Grand Prix now. Crazy elevation this track. Look at this drop right here down to the hairpin. It's just so sudden and it's so steep. I can imagine a lot of drivers going to struggle to stop for that corner in the actual race. This track has got one of the biggest runoffs in the whole entire game. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's not often we see this game have runoff that big. I stand by it should have it on nearly all tracks, except tracks that will have it in real life, simply because it's so difficult to see the cars sometimes. But the elevation actually, well, intense on this track. I don't think it's to be that great for the camera views at times. I imagine we're going to see hopefully a lot of onwards. And Alex Dunn, he's the first one to be starting his flying lap. I mean, look at that elevation. It's absolutely mental, isn't it? It's not like 1-to-1 scale, obviously, to real life. It never will be. It's not meant to be. But he's been held up there, Alex Dunn, by I think it is Lance Stroll. No, it's Fernando Alonso. That's a bit of a surprise, not gonna lie. There he is, Alex Dunn. He's getting ready to finish his lap. You get slipstream at the end there, potentially getting some time off. Johnny Hayes. Alex Dunn goes P1. Well, obviously, because he's just a benchmark lap time. Yuki Tsunoda, keep in mind, he is not actually. Yuki Tsunoda's not actually. Hamilton finishing lap or starting lap? He is finishing lap. Yuki Tsunoda's only finished one race this season, and that was round 2. He is DNF'd every other race. Pierre Gasly, can he beat Hamilton's provisional pole? No, he can't. Piastri can't. Lando Norris, he's held up a traffic there by another Cadillac being slow, holding him up. Pierce. By the way, you guys hear barking in the background. It is my dog just being an absolute menace. Charles Leclerc goes P2. Looks like we're going to another Ferrari front row lockup potentially. Ollie Behrman, he had quite a good few qualifying sessions recently. He P5 last time out. He's now P18 that lap time. That's not great. Isaac Hadjar, he's only P21. Red Bull not looking too great in the P10 and P21. Mercedes, who qualified P11 and P13 for last race, is currently sitting P6 and and yeah, so I reckon it's a bit better for them this weekend so far. But Lewis Hamilton once again looking like he's going to get a pole position potentially. Yuki Tsunoda will be the first one to start his second lap. He's doing once again an amazing qualifying session so far for Porsche. He's only finished one race, and he's DNF'd in every race since round 2. He is now looking like he's going to try put in another pole position and potentially, hopefully, actually finish this race here in Portugal. He's going to pass his teammate there potentially. There he is, rounding outside. Oh, his teammate's holding him up. His teammate is holding him up. Arvid Lindblad is holding him up. That will severely affect his lap time here. There's Esteban Ocon. We see him there at the bottom of your screen. Now we're on board with him now. Esteban Ocon was that lap. Remember, he got pole position at the German Grand Prix. That was still one of the best qualifying sessions of the season. The yellow flag in Sector 2, and it's because Piastri and Behrman have collided. Piastri and Behrman have collided. It's not able to see the cars. But I can imagine that's going to affect many drivers, including Lewis Hamilton. He was in the yellow flag zone as that yellow flag came up, and he's on his flying lap. Around the final corner, Lewis Hamilton, who's also got affected by traffic at the end there. I doubt he will improve. Might get a bit of slipstream to help him, but for the yellow flag, no, he did not improve at his time. It is disappointing for him. We're now looking for Carlos Sainz, who's in P12. His teammate, who is down. Oh, I don't actually see his teammate yet. It's so difficult to see him. His teammate down in P22, stays P20, comes into the pits. Sainz stays P12. Max Verstappen, P10. Can he improve on his lap time to go and put that car higher up the order potentially? It looks like he's staying P10 as well. That is not looking good for him. Where's Lando Norris? I can't see where Lando Norris is. Norris is P17. He's finished. He's down P17. Pierce, he's only got a little bit to go. Russell, across the line. Russell, bottom of the screen there. He crosses the line. He stays P6. Hayes. Pierce now. Pierce, not Hulkenberg. Pierce. Is he going to improve his lap time? No, I think Lewis Hamilton is on pole position unless this man, Sonny Hayes, can do anything about it. I think the answer to that is no. Lewis Hamilton is on pole position from Charles Leclerc, from Oscar Piastri. And Sonny Hayes stays P14. I knew he would. Well, qualifying session is over. Qualifying session is ended. Here it is, the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton's on pole position once again, with Charles Leclerc in second place, Ferrari front row up again. Oscar Piastri third. Goose to qualifying for Yuki Tsunoda in P4, 5th Pierre Gasly 6th, Russell 7th, Antonelli 8th, Esteban Ocon 9th, Alex Dunn in 10th, Max Verstappen 11th, Borletto 12th, Carlos Sainz 13th, Hayes 14th, Hadjar 15th is Nico Hulkenberg, 16th Joshua Pierce, 17th is Arvid Lindblad, 18th is the championship contender Lando Norris. It's not good for him. P19 is Van Alonso, and 20th is Ollie Behrman. Valtteri Bottas is 21st, Lance Stroll 22nd, and Alex Albon does play for him down to P23, and Sergio Perez once again P20. Here we are, 5 red lights. There's battle to a light here. Get the revs. It's lights out, away they go. And it looks like Lewis Hamilton got a good start from Charles Leclerc, who's on medium tyres. Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri side by side there. Through turn 1, Charles Leclerc stays ahead of Oscar Piastri. Looks like Charles Leclerc does stay in second place. If Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda battling off, they go very wide. They both lose tons of time as a collision further back, I think. With cars back there, yes, it's Verstappen. Verstappen is off the track, and so is championship contender Antonelli. Antonelli and Max Verstappen are at the back of the field now. After they went off the track, so did Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly. Esteban Ocon up into P5, Russell in P4. Lewis Hamilton leads the Grand Prix. As it stands, he will lead the championship, I think, as well. Lando Norris, though, where is he? He's in P15, he's in hard tyres though. We look further down the field with Nico Hulkenberg and Pierce. Nico Hulkenberg round the outside, looks like, as they climb up the hill into the long hair, well, not really that long, but a hairpin. Lewis Hamilton looks like he got a bit of a gap up in front as head back down to Pierce potentially here. Pierce on the inside of his teammate, he better be careful. This is a chaotic first lap. Pierce on the inside onto the start finish straight. He's going to have Hadjar in front of him as well to maybe get a bit of slipstream off and you have to maybe get manoeuvre around potentially. No, he does not. He sticks behind him as they all make their way through turn 1. So far, they're still in this race. Norris, he's trying to climb back up the field. He wants to finish as high as possible. He's fighting for a championship, as we know. We looked up in the field there, potentially. It looks like Lindblad looking at the inside of Hulkenberg as Norris is all over Behrman. Lindblad and Hulkenberg go side by side. Lindblad looking like he's going to look on the outside potentially here. This is absolutely incredible. He's racing all over the place. It looks like Lando Norris trying to defend now off Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso get past Lando Norris. Hard tyres might not be the way to go for him, but he's done it anyway, so he has to stick with it. As he's now looking to attack Fernando Alonso once again. Hulkenberg and Lindblad have collided. Hulkenberg and Lindblad, see Lindblad off there. And there's Hulkenberg. They're both out of this race. Hulkenberg and Lindblad are both out of this race. And that is 2 cars now out on lap 2. It's now lap 3 we're on. Dunn is into the pits. He only got 2 laps in soft tyres. I imagine it's just safety car. It's encouraging his pit stop. Alex Dunn going to exit. He's going to exit P16. With Kimi Antonelli, that is crucial for Kimi Antonelli. He's a championship contender. And yeah, 2 of the 5 championship contenders are sitting outside the points. And it is Kimi Antonelli and Lando Norris. Kimi Antonelli and Max Verstappen collided on lap 1 at turn 3 and went straight off the track. The other 3 championship contenders, Russell in P4, Leclerc in P2, who's leading the championship before this race, and Hamilton, who looks like I think he's going to be leading the championship if he finishes like this. He's leading the race. Be interesting to see if Lewis Hamilton potentially pits this lap, because other soft tyre runners pitted, but Lewis Hamilton does not pit. Which I guess is not much of a surprise. And George Russell, he does pit though. In fact, so is Esteban Ocon, who's also on soft tyres. Does Pierre Gasly pit? No, Pierre Gasly does not pit. What about Yuki Tsunoda? No. Hadjar, he's the next driver on soft tyres. No. Hayes? No. Behrman? No. Albon? No. But Alonso mediums does. Verstappen? No. Antonelli potentially? No. He's past pit lane to no. Perez, well, he's not really much of a question. He's doesn't really matter. He can do his own thing, can't he? There's Lewis Hamilton. Currently on P1. I feel like Perez is driving at safety car speeds here when he's not even caught up to the safety car. Like he's driving as if he's behind the safety car, as if he is the safety car. I mean, look at this. First start, I think this is actually where the crash happened, right here, I think. So I can be understand going slow here. No, it happened somewhere else. It happened further up the hill, didn't it? I can't remember. But here, go a bit faster. You got to catch up to them. Hamilton's in the pits. Lewis Hamilton's in the pits. I think Ferrari have done an absolute mistake on their strategy potentially here. Where does Lewis Hamilton exit? Lewis Hamilton, yeah. I think Ferrari have absolutely bodged up the strategies. Russell, I think, is pitted. Is the highest. He's up in P10. He's the highest driver up the order to have pitted. Lewis Hamilton exits down in P18. Russell is the highest driver up on the grid to have pitted. But technically, Charles Leclerc now leads this Grand Prix. I think Russell is net first right now. With Hamilton, he's down in technically net P4. And I imagine that gap to first with Leclerc and that is going to get bigger, and he's going to have to watch out for this traffic. Have Ferrari fumbled the strategy with Lewis Hamilton again? Safety car, I think, is in this lap. We're getting ready to watch it here. There's the around the final corner now. It is in this lap. When will Charles Leclerc go? Will he actually peel into the pit potentially? Yuki Tsunoda for Porsche is running a P3 right now, by the way, but he's also yet to pit. But he's on soft tyres. Well, the 2 in front of him are mediums. Here they go. Leclerc goes now from Piastri, from Tsunoda, from Borletto and Sainz. Piastri stays quite close to Charles Leclerc. There, it looks like he's actually very close to Charles Leclerc. Closer than I think any of us expected. We're looking further down the order now for some cars maybe battling. Potentially Lewis Hamilton is one to look at. Yes, he is. He's side by side with Fernando Alonso. Lewis Hamilton, does he get past Fernando Alonso down the straight? Bottom of your screen here is there. Lewis Hamilton, he's going to have to really try to be careful here and get past them all there. Bottas has got a 5-second penalty. There's a collision there. Verstappen's out of the race and Bottas is facing the wrong way. Bottas has got a 5-second penalty. Virtual safety cars deployed. The question is for Hamilton, did he get past Fernando Alonso? Yes, he did, but he did not get past Pierce. Verstappen is out of this race. Once again, he was out on lap 1 last race, and he's out on lap 6 this race. Piastri, while he did stay close at the initial restart with Charles Leclerc, he's quite far back now. Well, he's not exactly far back, half a second. It was a second ago. Well, it was a second ago, but now it's now it's still around a second. He's lost a bit of time. Oh yeah, he's lost loads of time. But Borletto is all over Yuki Tsunoda might want to be careful here. He just wants to finish a race and potentially score some points. Antonelli has also got a 5-second penalty. Antonelli is off into the track, and it's off the track into the gravel. Where's Pierce? Pierce is facing the wrong way. Antonelli and Pierce collided, and Antonelli is now recovering from the gravel. It's down in the order in P21. He's miles back now, and the championship contender currently running 4th place in the championship. It was only 15 points behind the championship leader into this race. It's now running last place, and with a 5-second penalty, with Isaac Hadjar, who pitted, X in the front of him, and Antonelli's yet to pit. As another virtual safety car. Hamilton's out! Hamilton is out of this race. It's Alex Albon. It takes Hamilton out. Alex Albon and Hamilton are out of this race. And that is the championship. Absolutely blown on its head, whatever. As Charles Leclerc, who still leads this Grand Prix, who is the championship leader, could easily extend the championship lead into the next race. So Hamilton's win streak comes to an end. There's only 19 cars remaining in this race. Antonelli, does he have any damage? I've just had a thought. Don't think so. Not any visual damage there was. Charles Leclerc continues to lead this race with quite a gap now. He's not into the pits though. Yuki Tsunoda continues to fend off Bortoletto. He's fighting for a podium, I guess, this race. Norris and Russell. Norris side by side, yet to pit. He's fighting with Esteban Ocon. It's into the pits. There goes Sonny Hayes. And Yuki Tsunoda's also into the pits. Norris side by side of Esteban Ocon. Ocon on the outside. Norris on the inside. Norris pushes Ocon off the track. Ocon looking to stay down the inside. It looks like it was Norris as Ocon looks like he's dropped on the outside and the inside now. Ocon on the left, on the right, ahead now as Alex Dunn looks like he's going to cruise past Lando Norris. For P7, Lando Norris is falling down the field now, and Yuki Tsunoda, who did pit, is exited P15. Russell and Sainz. Russell, currently entering this race in third place in the championship, is fighting for fourth place against Carlos Sainz, who is yet to pit. Russell, I reckon, is one of the highest chances of winning this race. You have to manage these tyres and off. Bortoletto and Sainz are also fighting down to the start-finish straight now. Charles Leclerc is into the pits, by the way. I see him in the map. Charles Leclerc is into the pits. Pierce has got a 5-second penalty. Oh, Hadjar's facing the wrong way. We're on board with him there. Hadjar's facing the wrong way as Pierce is out of his race. And that is going to save Charles Leclerc with this pit stop. Potentially just. He's going to exit behind George Russell on fresh, soft tyres, though. He's going to exit behind quite a few drivers, I think. He's down P4. Is he behind Lando Norris? No, he's not behind Lando Norris. Lando Norris is behind him. VSC Piastri is right behind Pierre Gasly. He looks like he's going to be challenging Pierre Gasly. And this restart potentially looking now back at Piastri, who's looking on the inside of Pierre Gasly. Piastri crashed in the latter stages of the last race. He's now on the inside of Pierre Gasly. Another yellow flag. Alex Dunn is gone off. I can't see where he is though. Alex Dunn. He went off. Alex Dunn is facing the wrong way. Well, he's not facing the wrong way, he's facing the right way, but he's stopped on track, he's rolling the car up the hill now, he's trying to get the car going again. Hadjar just avoids him, looks like. Alex Dunn spun round, potentially into some contact. Russell has been attacked by Charles Leclerc and Russell side by side, two championship contenders. Charles Leclerc breezes past George Russell through the corners, and he takes the lead of the Grand Prix back. This is crucial. Lando Norris, his P4, is yet to pit. I can imagine maybe coming into this lap. He's got his teammate on the inside of him. Oscar Piastri takes P4. I can imagine Lando Norris is in the pits this lap. No, he is not. Is Lando Norris going to the interior without a pit stop? I won't be surprised. I would be surprised, sorry. Bortoletto cruises past Esteban Ocon. Oh, big accident there! Esteban Ocon's out. That's a huge accident. And I hope he's okay. His car went sliding out. It looked like a power surge. It looked like a power surge, not gonna lie. His car went sliding off wide and into the wall at full speeds. I disabled full safety car after the first one. I'll re-enable it in a couple lap or two. But Kimi Antonelli, of course, running a very lonely race at the back there. He P18, I think his championship hopes might be taken away from him basically this race. Another virtual safety car is out as Lance Stroll and Hadjar have collided. Hadjar's in the wall there. Lance Stroll's got a 5-second penalty. Hadjar's in the wall. I'm going to disable virtual safety car. So once this one comes in, there'll be no more virtual safety cars until like at least lap 12. I'm going to re-enable both of them. It's just so we can get at least some full green lap racing. I think there've been a few this race, but we want to have some. There they go, green flag racing once again. There's still 5 laps. Alex Dunn on the inside. Oh, Valtteri Bottas there. Alex Dunn around the outside of Valtteri Bottas. And ahead of Valtteri Bottas. And he's now got Sergio Perez right in front of him there. Alex Dunn, side by side contact with Sergio Perez, is now past Sergio Perez. As he had Bottas and Perez now fighting. as they head for this long final corner. Uphill, downhill now. It is very long. As Yuki Tsunoda is into the pits once again. He is having, well, at least he's still in this race. He's not often finishing races, as we know, in this championship. Sorry, I was uncalled for. Lando Norris is yet to pit as well. He's running in P8 with 11 Apple tyres. There's a lot of debris on track down to that hairpin. Let's look at this here. Can we see it? I can't see it there. Berman potentially can make me see it. But Bottas, we see from Bottas maybe potentially. Here down the hairpin, there's a lot. I think I can't tell if it was just shadows or not. Actually, maybe we can get a view from Antonelli on board. Hopefully, maybe. No, I can't get any of these guys. Oh, I've gone on board there. You can know the bit too late. Piastri, very careful here. He wants to at least finish the race again for the first time in quite a while. I think he finished 2 races ago, but you know what I mean. He overtakes Russell for second place. He takes second place. Russell is still looking on the inside, potentially up into turn 3, but he's just going to back out from that one, except he's lost the place. Yuki Tsunoda's got a 5-second penalty. Yuki Tsunoda and Antonelli are out, and that is crucial because Antonelli is the championship contender. He's P4 in the championship, and he's not out of his race. As Lando Norris finally pits, he's going to exit in P14, I think, ahead behind Sergio Perez. A lot of crashes this race, a lot of DNS, but yeah, again, there's been a lot of great racing, and we're now looking at Bortoleto who's chasing after George Russell for P3. Pierre Gasly is just overtaking Sergio Perez, it looks like. As we go back to Bortoleto's, Piastri and Leclerc are in the pits. That might actually really affect the race as Bortoleto takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Bortoleto, I repeat, is the race leader with only a couple of laps remaining. Bortoleto can win this Grand Prix. This is absolutely intense. Audi can get a race win. Russell's in P2, Sainz is in P3, Leclerc in P4 and fresh soft tyres though. Piastri is down in P9. Tsunoda, I did say, is hasn't finished. It was him, yeah, who hasn't finished the race since round 2. Is once again out of the race. Obviously, that crash with Antonelli. But Bortoleto leads this Grand Prix. You better watch some tyres though, as he's ahead of George Russell and Carlos Sainz. He's catching up to Russell as well. So Clark is potentially catching up to Carlos Sainz here. Hayes and Fernando Alonso battling now. As they go into 2 laps to go. Hayes and Fernando Alonso side by side. Leclerc and Sainz. Leclerc has passed Sainz. Hayes and Fernando Alonso though are still going side by side. I'm still wanting to watch this for you guys, obviously. There's only 2 laps to go as Leclerc takes second place. Is now chasing down Gabriel Bortoleto. Hayes and Fernando Alonso still side by side as Leclerc chases down Gabriel Bortoleto for this race lead. Hayes gets past Fernando Alonso's. Piastri is now right behind him. Piastri gets past Fernando Alonso as there's Charles Leclerc and Gabriel Bortoleto fighting for this race win. Charles Leclerc around the outside potentially here. Charles Leclerc takes the lead back off Gabriel Bortoleto. I'm not gonna lie, that means my heart just sinks for Gabriel Bortoleto there, fighting for the race win. Not anymore, I don't think. As Piastri tries to chase down George Russell, as Sainz and Russell are battling. Russell on 10 lap old tyres. Stroll and Gasly are battling. Gasly and Stroll side by side. Stroll on the inside. This is Gasly. No, it's not Gasly. Stroll. It's Berman and Stroll. Onto the last lap of this race we go. Russell and Sainz still side by side. Russell and Sainz are in the wall and into the wall. Go Russell and Sainz, and that's another championship contender out of this race. 3 of the 5 championship contenders are out of this race. As a safety car deployed in this final lap of the Grand Prix. Sainz has got a 5-second penalty, and I think he might just lose the place to Oscar Piastri then. 3rd place. Lance Stroll, he was battling Ollie Behrman, sorry. I've gotten lost who it was here. Lando Norris, so he might just score a point. Because right now he is outside. Yeah, he is going to score a point. And keep his championship hopes just alive, I think. This is absolutely crucial for the championship. George Russell, Kimi Antonelli, once again, both Mercedes out of a race for the 2nd time in a row. Unfortunately for Gabriel Borletto, this safety car came out a little bit too late for him. If it came out earlier, he would have won this Grand Prix. Sainz and Russell colliding on lap 15. Here's Charles Leclerc though, round the final corner to win his third race of the season and to extend his championship lead. Charles Leclerc wins. Borletto is going to come around the final corner as well and take second place. Guys, stick around so you can see the championship standings into 2 rounds to go. Borletto takes second place. Sainz, he will cross the line third. He won't finish third. He'll finish down the P4. Oscar Piastri will take P3 off Carlos Sainz. Sonny Hayes will take P5. Sonny Hayes in P5. Lance Stroll, he'll cross the line P6. I don't think he'll finish P6. I think he might finish low top 10, if not below top 10. Here's this set of cars now. Norris crossed the line P10. He might just... Norris will finish behind Lance Stroll, I think. As Norris only scores 1 point and only stays in this championship by 1 point, I think, as the 2 Cadillac drivers to go out finish this race. Here we go, cross the line. Here's your podium, and it's looking very likely that Charles Leclerc is going to win this championship now, potentially. He missed out on last year's championship after entering the final round equal in points to George Russell. Gabriel Borletto finishing the podium for, I think, is the 3rd time this season. That is brilliant for him. Oscar Piastri, after all his times, been unlucky after great qualifying, once again, finally finishes on the podium once again. Here's the race results. Leclerc, Borletto, Piastri, Sainz, Hayes, Alonso, Behrman, Stroll, Gasly, Norris, Dunn, Perez, Bottas, Russell, Tsunoda, Antonelli, Hadjar, Ocon, Pierce, Hamilton, Albon, Verstappen, Hulkenberg, and Lindblad. Of course, here's the championship standings. Leclerc leads the 21 points over Lewis Hamilton. He can win this championship next race. If he outscores Lewis Hamilton by 4 points next race, Charles Leclerc is the world champion. He is also 25 points ahead of George Russell. And so I've got it all wrong. Ignore me, I've gotten it all wrong. Leclerc is 31 points ahead of Hamilton. So if Hamilton will need to outscore Leclerc by 7 points to keep this championship alive into the next race, into the final rounds. So Hamilton needs to outscore Charles Leclerc by 7 points. Otherwise, Charles Leclerc will be the world champion. Russell is currently sitting 35 points behind Leclerc. Antonelli is sitting 40 points behind Charles Leclerc. And Norris is sitting 49 points behind Charles Leclerc. Technically, yes, the top 5 are still mathematically fighting for the championship. But it's only 50 points to go, and they're separated by 49 points. 25 points for the win. So Charles Leclerc will win this championship next race. Will win the championship next race, unless Hamilton outscores him by 7 points. If Hamilton outscores him by 7 points, then the championship's still on the final round of the season. Of course, if also Russell outscores him by 10 points, or 11 points even. And Kimi Antonelli will need to win the race, I think, and hope Leclerc doesn't finish. And I think that same goes to Lando Norris. I'm pretty sure Lando Norris and Kimi Antonelli technically need to win this race, and hope that Leclerc doesn't finish in the points next race. Piastri's not P9 in the standings. And yeah, that's devastating for Lewis Hamilton, who's looking like he could have be right into the championship fight. That race really throws it on its heels. Mercedes once again not finishing a race for the 2nd time in a row. Actually, is it the 3rd time in a row? No, it's only the 2nd time in a row they didn't score a single point. And Antonelli, 3rd time in a row not scoring a single point. Only 2 rounds to go though. The constructor standings are here. Ferrari, from Mercedes, from McLaren, from Apex GP, from Williams, from Audi, from Red Bull, from Braun, from Haas, from Aston, Cadillac, from Porsche. Look at that. Yuki Tsunoda is only, yeah, round 2. He was the last time he scored a point. Guys, make sure you hit like, it's not scored a point last time he finished the race. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button so you don't miss out on another video. Till next time, goodbye.